St. Paul, The Fan.
Two more.
The Techie.
Oh my gosh. Oh, please.
Oh my.
Sorry, KFAN.
Come on, man.
Get out of my face with that crazy stuff.
Thank you, Minneapolis.
Oh, well.
All right, now.
Gleeman.
He is
The Techie.
the T-Wolves, Twins, and that of Tumult Techie. 9 to noon. Good morning. It's 11:06. Paul Allen, Aaron Gleeman at Aaron Gleeman via Twitter. Writes about baseball and the Minnesota Twins for The Athletic and theathletic.com. But the sports A topic outside of the Cousins Achilles is the Wolves blowing that massive lead last night. I mean, that was just crazy to watch, wasn't it? It was the metaphorical tidal wave that they just couldn't get out of the way. And good morning.
I would agree. Like, under normal circumstances, it would be crazy. But also, like, I've been watching this for 40 years. But,
right.
Yeah, it's disappointing. I mean, they just made every shot in the first half. So you knew that was going to come back down to earth a little bit. And then Atlanta basically made every shot in the third quarter, Murray especially. But it's discouraging, I guess I would say, this early to see an issue that plagued them, especially last season. And, you know, a lot of past seasons where you get off to a great start, even a great first half against, by the way, not a good team. I mean, Atlanta's okay.
They're middling.
Yeah. And you just can't put them away. And then you can't sort of stop the bleeding at any point in that third quarter. And then once the momentum shifts there, it's over, basically. And so it's disappointing for all the talk of changes that are going to happen and some new pieces, and the guys are finally playing together after all the injuries last year. It's only one game, so I'm not trying to write off any of that, but it's a discouraging early data point where you're like, well, yeah, this looked like a game right out of last season, basically.
It and something that is perplexing probably would be too strong. Befuddling to me.
Yeah.
Shake what?
Yeah.
He plays 10 minutes. He played 17 last night.
Shake what?
Shake Milton's in like the low 20s. I just thought he was going to play more. I thought he'd be like 6th, 7th man with Nas bench pop thing.
I mean, he got straight up benched for McLaughlin in the second game.
Oh, wow.
Where he was like,
Miami?
He was, yeah, I guess it was.
Yeah, I was in Green Bay. I missed it.
He was like terrible for a little bit, a couple shifts, and then they just benched him from, at least that's what I thought happened.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, he should be good. I don't know. It's very strange to watch them because they should rebound amazingly because they're huge, like just across the board. Especially, I mean, when Milton plays point guard, he's 6'5" at point guard or whatever.
Wow.
And obviously,
Shake Milton 6'5".
I mean, he's at least like 6'4", 6'5", I think.
Damn.
And they are playing the two bigs together at all times because Naz Reid is essentially a power forward now. But it's weird that they don't rebound better, and then when they give up transition, I mean, I think they're just slow. Like I'm saying, I mean, there are flaws in the transition defense, but like they're just getting worked in transition by all teams, especially teams that have some good guards like the Hawks do.
They lumber.
It's weird. Okay, I get it. You're playing a bunch of bigs. You're going to lumber compared to a team that is playing smaller.
Yeah.
But if you're going to lumber, you got to protect the rim and you got to rebound like crazy. And you know that's the same issue that there was last season. I don't know. It's disappointing. On the other hand, it's only one game, but I don't know. It's such a strange team in that I think there's this hope that the pieces are going to fit better. And I do have faith in Finch just in general as a coach. I know he's going to get a lot of heat at this point, especially if they lose to Denver and start 1-3. But I do have faith in him, like maximizing the talent. I at some point, just the pieces might not fit. And this is a vast overreaction based on the third game of a 82 game season. But
thus you said might.
Yeah, but it's the same stuff as last year, basically.
See, but like with Shake, it's and with Shake Milton is we're following him in Philadelphia last couple of years. LFL raised is what we do.
Plus, let's be honest, it's just a great name. Yeah, Shake Milton is just a tremendous name.
I think it's Malik Benjamin Milton.
Something like that, yeah.
And his father's nickname was Milk. So therefore...
Oh, that's... Okay.
Milkshake.
Yeah, it's a good name for a point guard, I'll tell you that.
It's Milk and it's Shake.
Yeah.
But the topic number one question for me with Milton was, all right, so like Harden or Tyrese Maxey would be hurt and Milton be playing 30, 35 minutes. Oh, wow, 27 points, hit 6 threes. Like when he would play extended time, he would go lights out.
Right.
But then when he would go back to the bench, it didn't go back to like 22 minutes it went back to like 8.
Right.
So it's like he was either a 100 or a 0, and that's kind of how it's starting here. Emphasis on the 0 side, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was a decent pickup. I mean, I like that they also kept McLaughlin. When McLaughlin's been healthy in the past, he's been at least my idea of what a good backup point guard is, which is he's not really looking to shoot. He initiates offense. Things kind of the ball movement really amps up when he's in the game, which I like to see. Milton's not that same type of point guard. He can just be a good scorer, obviously, but I don't know. It's a weird thing, and now they have the champs coming in Denver. I've watched them twice. I mean, they look as good as they did at the end of last season, if not better.
Joker, I watched some of the game against Utah last night to scout your guy Walker Kessler, who was off to an awful start, and he tore it up last night.
I watched that too, yeah.
But he's still not blocking shots, which is weird.
No, you're telling me, yeah.
But
I lost 6-2 to Doogie in week 1.
I lost 7-1 to somebody new to the league.
Yeah, but Doogie's the most annoying person. Because I know him. I'm going to see him in person. So it's like...
All right, well, I saw him at the Kevin O'Connell press conference yesterday, and it was kind of like, did you... Paul, you may have overvalued Jaden Ivey, but did you see what my team did? I'm like, Doogie, shut up. Okay, you're a past champion, so let's pull this off to the side.
Yeah, he's good. He's just an annoying.
Lions.
He knows what he's doing. He's a good league member. He's just annoying to lose to.
Well, he's really, really good at drafting. Yeah, but nevertheless, it's the Lions. So I'm scouting Walker Kessler to get some talkers with you, and like I think I saw Joker make 7 straight shots. I mean, he was unstoppable. But he's Joker. Now, with the Wolves, tension seemed high in a couple of timeout huddles as the 20-point lead was diminishing. But 9 to noon certainly is happy to report Stifle and Slow-Mo didn't mix it up in any shape or form. So that's a positive out of the entire thing. Ooh, don't let me forget about this. We'll go back to basketball. Why do you think Dusty Baker retired?
I mean,
it's been a long time. I get that part.
He was semi-retired.
Like lickety split. Oh, he was?
When they brought him out of retirement to take this. If you remember, he took this job in the wake of the suspensions and the cheating scandal and all that stuff. And
was he the Nationals manager when they won?
No.
Okay.
This was his first championship last year.
Was that Dave Martinez or something?
Yes.
Yeah, with the Natties.
Yes. But he's managed a lot. He made the World Series with the Giants. He was very good with the Nationals. He was good with the Cubs, for that matter, even Cincinnati. I think he'll be in the Hall of Fame for sure. He was a borderline Hall of Fame player.
Yeah.
So the fact that he, has 1 billion wins as a manager should push him over the top there. But I think that was kind of a, poorly kept secret throughout the season. He's just, he's getting up there in age.
Mm-hmm.
He's done this for, 40 years or something like that.
What type of team does he leave the next guy? Because it's like, you got Alvarez, cool. But you got some age creeping up on this team a little bit, right?
They have Alvarez and Tucker are can be the building blocks for another 5 years, let's say. But
is Bregman old?
Bregman's like 33, 34, and he's still good, but he's not superstar level. Altuve's getting up there. Yeah. Verlander is obviously past 40 at this point.
Yeah.
The other question with them is the front office that kind of built this mini dynasty that they have, or quasi dynasty that they have, is gone. It first got kind of cleaned out a little bit because of the cheating scandal. A bunch of guys got fired, including the Jeff Luhnow, the guy who ran it. But now they have like Jeff Bagwell running part of the thing, and the owner Jim Crane, who's just this billionaire dude, who's sort of taking more of a Jerry Jones approach to where he's like involved in player personnel moves and stuff. Which they hired a guy named Dana Brown from the Braves, who's like a respected scouting director. But I think there's a lot of questions about how the Astros look over the next 5 years, setting aside Baker. Just like, will the things they did so well for most of the past decade become a weakness for them or sort of deteriorate for them because the people in charge of the things that went well are no longer there. They've been gone for at least a couple years now. And so I think some of the moves they've made are a little bit more questionable or at least uncharacteristic versus what moves they would have made the last decade or so.
The demise of Max Scherzer may have been highly exaggerated. Now, it was his third start off that injury, and he only did go 36 pitches, no earned runs allowed, did walk a couple. Got out of it alive, though, and that hadn't been the case recently for Scherzer. Just the name's obviously ballyhooed, and so maybe people expect the guy with the multicolored eyes just going to go like 9 strikeouts every game. But I thought he was okay last night. The bullpen mostly was okay. They got themselves in some trouble, but got out of it. I really enjoy this World Series. Do you?
It's been a good World Series. He left because he's hurt. He hurt his back.
Last night?
Yes, that's why he left.
Oh, wow.
He came out to pitch the whatever inning.
Fourth.
Threw a little bit.
Oh, thank you, because I saw Gray in there, and I thought it was like, okay, we got enough.
No, I mean, teams have done that with starts for sure. The Twins have done that with starters this postseason.
Oh, wow.
But he left because of a back injury, which is a big worry because he would probably have started, I'm trying to do the math here, game 6, I guess. Yeah. It's been a good series. I'm certain they're disappointed with the ratings, but also I hear
ratings are bad.
It was here's the thing about sports.
Yeah,
we're at the point now, other than the Super Bowl, just the pure number of people watching drops every year.
Yeah,
because there's so many options to watch. I'm sure this is going to be one of the lower watch World Series of all time.
I'm thinking you can find anything this day and age to support at least part of an argument on the either side of pretty much everything in the world, because like I've read things like when I had Derek Falvey and Dave St. Peter on during the Twins postseason run. So I'm looking for different angles and stuff, and I found a bunch of things where men and women 18 to 34 were watching more baseball through some analytic. It was proven. And the pitch clock had a lot to do with that. I'm like, damn, man, that's pretty cool.
Well, yeah, I mean, attendance was up, but also you can just know how many people watched a World Series game. I'm sure it's one of the lowest of all time. But I never understood. Wow. Like, people obsess about ratings, and like you said, you can spin it with whatever side of the argument you want to. But the thing, as a baseball fan and someone who's been writing about baseball for 20 years, the thing I never understood is, who cares?
Who cares?
Why do I care about ratings?
Yeah, like The Voice has 8 million people watching every minute. I couldn't care less.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest television show to last like 20 years was The Big Bang Theory. And I'm not trying to, step on The Big Bang Theory if that's your thing.
But if you like it, great.
Right. Like, Succession got 10% of the audience of Big Bang Theory or Breaking Bad or whatever it is. But yeah, people obsess about ratings, and that's probably because I follow a lot of media members who are talking about that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But unless you think like the sport you're watching is in danger of folding as a sport, who cares about ratings? Like, maybe there'll be slightly less television revenue, but they're not hurting for revenue at this point.
The end of game 1. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and do power rankings for greatest World Series endings. We got Jeter with a bunch of them and just a bunch of different things. I mean, how about that? The end of game 1, down 5-3, and they come back and win that sucker? Holy cow.
Well, and that's the other thing with ratings is there's no correlation between the quality of the games and ratings. Yeah. Like, yes, if it's a close game in like the 7th or 8th inning, people will start to tune in at the end of the game. But like, this could be, in terms of on the field, this could be one of the greatest series ever, let's say, and it would still be poorly rated just because the two fan bases aren't that big. So, I don't know. I never quite got the obsession with television ratings for sports.
Same.
You'd like to get as many baseball fans as possible, but what I think we've learned about baseball over the last decade or so especially is it's very much a local game during 6 months, and then the playoffs are kind of dependent on big games and big moments and then which fan bases make it to the end. And so, there just aren't that many Diamondbacks fans that are going to tune into a game. There aren't 20 million Diamondbacks fans.
In our League Freak, Sex Panthers owned by Eric Seitz, who's lived in Arizona. He's a Minnesotan, but he's lived there for 30, 40 years. Well, he's going to every home game.
Yeah, and so he doesn't even get a Nielsen box. He's going to the games. They're not even getting ratings off it.
And he would be the one to watch.
He needs to stream it from his seats at the game.
Sex Panther, don't leave home without him. Have you seen much of Wemby? Wembanyama.
I have.
Victor Wembanyama.
I think I've watched at least a little of all. I think he's played three games so far.
I purposely, because I missed him, I purposely wanted to see him against Houston. Here's why. It was over the weekend. Because Houston is unorganized. They don't care about defense. They jump routes, and they don't care if you dunk the other way. So I'm like, I want to watch Wemby in a street ball playground.
Yes, it's a good spot for a 19-year-old rookie because it's like,
I don't know if you saw it. How good is he in that wide open court type situation, dribbling behind his back? He blocked a shot twice on the same guy on the same play. It was unbelievable.
I saw that one. I think it's weird because he goes like 5 minutes at a time where you kind of forget he's involved.
Yep.
And then, which I think is common of a 19-year-old rookie, he just sort of fades into the background. And then, like you said, you see like 2 or 3 plays in a row where he just does something and you go like,
it's passing.
What? Like he's bringing the ball up for them. He's initiating offense at the top of the 3-point line. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's crossing people up. He's just launching threes off screens. It's like, and then the block. I mean, he gets steals and blocks on plays where you see guys think they're making just a normal kind of rotational pass. Yeah. And he just sticks those arms out there and just taps it away. And you see guys like have to reconsider the geometry of the court. So, I mean, I think I watched him play the 2 games pre-draft, his team that he was at, like the French team. Yeah. He was on NBA Network twice, and I watched those.
That's some scouting right there.
Yeah, well. And I thought, because he played G League or whatever, G League Unite or whatever, but I came away from that convinced, like, not that he's going to be an MVP immediately, but that just the things he can do at that height I've never seen before, and I think that's
and he's not super frail. I mean, he's rail thin, but Chet Holmgren. I mean, now that's rail thin, especially those arms. Wemby's not necessarily like that.
I mean, I grew up idolizing Kevin Garnett, who seemed to never put a pound on. And even you see him now, he's like 45 years old. Yeah. He weighs like, the same he weighed.
But he was wiry with muscle definition.
That's the thing to me is like the difference between a lot of guys, bigs, especially now when you're emphasizing sort of guard skills in 7-footers at this point. Yeah. They come into the league and they weigh like 112 pounds and you go, this guy's just going to get pushed around. And sometimes they will. But I think it's tough to look at a guy right away and say, like, does he have a kind of Garnett potential strength, or is he a guy who's just going to be Sean Bradley for the rest of his life? Because, I mean, Sean Bradley was thin and never got...
but Bradley never dribbled up the court behind his back.
Believe me, I'm not comparing at all.
I mean, Wemby made a no-look pass to Keldon Johnson. Now, Houston's full of L's, okay, and they don't want to play defense. But he made a no-look pass to Keldon Johnson. That's the thing. He was just clowning out there.
I think if you look at, like, the overall game, you're like, okay, this is a really good rookie. But if you look at, like, the specific skills, there are so many boxes that he's checking that you're like, this isn't a thing that's ever been checked by a 7-foot guy before. Like, he's honestly...
Giannis a little bit.
Yeah, that's true, Giannis. But also, he's not that he's a good shooter yet, but he's launching threes because part of being 7'4" is you can just shoot. Nobody's going to block your shot, especially on the perimeter. Who's like, if they switch a pick and roll and they put a 6'6" guy on you, you can just basically shoot a set shot.
How many in the listening audience right now are like, so wait a second, what do you say, honey? So those two really on a Friday night, not together, are watching the Houston Rockets and the San Antonio Spurs
I have
on NBA Game
incredible
Pass.
Social life at this point.
And they actually have like 5 references off of it. I mean, because I was fascinated by Wemby. I'd never seen Wemby play, man. He was good.
Yes, I'm excited. And I'm playing him in fantasy, so I'm sure he's about to go off this week and really torch me.
Holmgren went off on me last night. But nevertheless... there's one thing about which I've been thinking for quite some time, and we missed you last week because of Monday Night Football terrorism, but any idea how Cade Cunningham has played so far for those Pistons?
He's been good. I've been watching the Pistons. I drafted in this league that we're both in case everybody's wondering, that we talk about way too much on the radio. I drafted all guys from terrible teams. Yeah. Unintentionally. Yeah. My best guy was Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah, I have 2 Wizards. So.
I got Pistons and Pacers and Rockets, and I don't know why. And so thank God for League Pass. Yeah. Because none of these guys are ever getting a primetime game.
How about this stupid mistake that I made? Oh, go ahead. Finish your story.
No, I mean, Cunningham's been good. I don't know that Detroit's going to be anything but terrible, but he's going to get plenty of shots. He's been good.
So I had a big opinion on Jordan Poole offensively with the Wizards. Yeah. Okay, now, anytime you're taking somebody from a bad team, all bets might need to be off if it doesn't work. Kuzma's a ball hog. Baby Tyus has been better than I thought he would be, off the dribble, beating people, getting to the key and the line and stuff. So I'm like, hey, this is going to be good for Jordan Poole. Yeah. Well, what would lead me to think that he's a dog? that he has dog in him.
Yeah.
When in
You
a
should
practice
ask Draymond.
caught it right.
Yeah.
When in a practice caught on video, you get punched in the face by a teammate and don't punch back. Now maybe he's big turn the other cheek guy, and if that's the case, I'm fine with that. But I'm like, how can I qualify this guy as a dog when he's letting his teammates punch him in the face and not even charging at him?
Now, I personally wouldn't blame someone for not wanting to fight Draymond Green because I probably wouldn't want to fight him either.
But Draymond got him good, too.
Yeah. Something tells me Draymond's probably won a few more fights in his life than Jordan Poole, but who knows? You're getting plenty of shots from Jordan Poole. That's what you wanted.
It's been great, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
31%. Yeah, it's been fantastic.
Some of them
just terrific.
Don't even make contact with the backboard, let alone the rim, but you're getting a lot of shots with him. Yeah. I saw some highlights where he, I think he took too seriously kind of becoming a quasi-member of the Splash Brothers because he's shooting threes and he's doing the Steph thing where he
From
shoots
30?
it. Yeah, he launches
turning around,
and it's just a brick.
Bro, come on, you can't do that.
It's a very funny. He thinks he's I was part of it. Me,
That's
Steph,
one
and
of
Clay.
the coolest things. This side maybe of an Adolis Garcia home run trot. Where he stared. I think it was the ALCS. He stared at one for 15 seconds.
Yeah, he got hurt last night too. By the way.
Oh yeah, I heard that at the end. Benches almost cleared. But when Steph launches a 25-foot three-pointer
and just walks away, turns his back
and turns his back and waits for the crowd reaction, and 8.5 to 9.5 out of 10 times, it's good.
I also
that's beautiful.
A lot of times, if it's Draymond or whoever passed it to him, they'll throw the pass, and as he's catching it, they'll just put their finger up and kind of turn, being that's a three. Yeah, I mean that's the ultimate heat check. Jordan Poole. He doesn't have it in him.
You know who also had a rough game? Mike Conley had a rough night last night. It's just I've watched him basically, let's say 6 quarters. I didn't see the Miami game, and we know he's right at the end. I mean, he's nearing the end of a career that's been a terrific career, but he had a rough night last night trying to get off the dribble past Trae Young or just trying to penetrate and make others better. It was just tough.
It's tricky because, like you said, I mean, he's up there for a point guard, especially. I mean, when you got to be fast at that position, he's 36, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of mileage on him. But I will say, to me, he was excellent after the trade last year. I mean, he was, to me at least, a huge upgrade on D'Angelo Russell on both sides of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I don't know. They don't really have much choice. I mean, Shake Milton and Jordan McLaughlin are the other two options there.
Now, what's up with Shake, man? I thought he was, I said it earlier, I thought he was going to play more.
I mean,
and they need 3-pointers. And Taurean Prince, by the way, hits every 3-pointer he's throwing up for the LA Lakers.
Yeah,
he had 5 one game and 6 another.
It's not doing the Lakers all that much good though. But I don't know. I stick with Connolly. He's smart. He might be a little slower. But.
I got you. And it was a 1-game bid where I don't even know how many he scored last night. Felt like,
but I mean, if he
5
gets
or something,
if he gets old in a hurry. They're in trouble.
Ooh,
I mean, they got a lot riding on him. But
D'Lo, 28, 10 of 14 shooting, 5 of 5 at the line, hit 3.
Yes, he had his one game.
Assists.
He had his one good game after a week of playing horribly. So people go, he's back. D'Lo, he's capable.
I need D'Lo to be back.
Damn.
Yeah.
D'Lo was fat last
I give
night.
it another month before LeBron is openly rolling his eyes at D'Lo on the.
I appreciate you stopping by, man, and I'll see you next week. All right. Aaron Gleeman, the techie. Aaron Gleeman at Aaron Gleeman via Twitter. Around the corner, we are going to do a welfare check on a dear friend, play back some Cousins talkbacks, and give away a prize of 2 tickets to the Vikings and Bears on Monday Night Football near the end of the show. But before all that, let's mash on some money.
The Fan, along with 2 men in a junk truck, they want to give you a shot to put $1,000 in your hand with the National Cash Contest. Go to KFAN.com and enter the keyword grand. You might win $1,000. The keyword is grand. The website
on the Fan.
Cousins goes out of the shotgun on 3rd and 19 from the Green Bay 22. T.J. Hawkinson in motion to the left. Kirk act on back-to-back plays. That time it was Kenny Clark. Really? Kirk kind of stumbled or ambled. Now, Kirk's limping off the field, by the way. Kirk looks like he messed up his right ankle.
PA and Charch.
What's up, Charchy?
Been better.
Yeah, this is mostly a welfare check because you being the leader of the Kirk Cousins fan club to a certain extent, defending him on social media, arguing on social media. It even got to a point at one time where it was like he was going so well, it was like, take that, Kirk haters. I mean, you would take it, you would just take things so personally because not only did you want your opinion to be accurate, but over the years, you just really liked the man and liked the performance you would see on the field. So I felt a welfare check with you was in play. You're doing okay?
Doing okay. I'm genuinely sad about this. I don't get, you and I have been doing this for a long time, Paul. We follow a lot of athletes. We care about our teams, but I don't normally get emotionally attached to any one player to the point that it affects me significantly when things go, really right or really wrong.
So much
but
so
the Kirk thing,
so much so that your audio sounds like you're on one of those weird balloons that was permitted to float over our country. But anyway.
Oh, does it really? Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know why.
No, you're good.
Okay. All right, good. But this one was different because, if we go all the way back to December of 2017, when he was still a member of Washington, that's when I started lobbying to get Kirk here and felt like he'd be the right move over Teddy Bridgewater and Case Keenum. And I think there were a lot of people that just didn't want him then. And it took a long, long time to change the narrative in this town. And I think mostly it changed. I think most people came to understand that he was not only a very good quarterback, but the true leader on the team. Not everybody, clearly, and I've still got a Twitter account filled with people that nobody said they're glad he's got hurt, but other people are like, well, it doesn't change anything. We needed to go to the draft anyway, so all it does is give us a better draft position. I've gotten plenty of that. But this one I was emotionally attached to, and I'm disappointed at the prospect, Paul, that we may have seen Kirk play his last game for the Minnesota Vikings. I wasn't emotionally ready for that yet.
Understood. And, you look back to the 2017 season, then at the end of the season, we get blown out by Philly, and we're on the top floor of Mall of America doing Radio Row Radio up to Super Bowl 52 at US Bank Stadium. And I think it was the last day. It was either the Thursday or the Friday we were there. Well, there's Cousins walking through the crowd, and then he sits down at our table and starts doing an interview with somebody. And I snapped a picture of it that I have hanging in the booth at Canterbury Park. But you and I were kind of both like, whoa, there he is, Charchy. And quite honestly, it was love at first sight for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't want to say we were starstruck because I don't think you or I get that way. But, just having him here in Minnesota at that point was like, maybe this thing's going to come together. Maybe Kirk really is going to be a Viking. And at that time, it seemed pretty remote that it could work out that way. And, if you fast forward to where we are today, I really believe that had he not been saddled with such in such a bad spot with his offensive line and an underperforming defense, that, he would have had, a lot more wins than what people want. And I know a lot of our listeners like the only thing that matters are wins. I just don't think that the losses this team absorbed over his tenure were largely on Kirk. I think it was largely on a defense that typically ranked 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st, 32nd, most hit quarterback the last two seasons. And I really feel like that we were getting to a point this year, Paul, where Kirk was playing so well. He's going to finish this season. He was first in completions, first in touchdowns, third in passer rating. He was heading towards what could have been an MVP conversation season if the Vikings had just beaten the teams they should have beaten down through the rest of this season. And I really felt like we had something special right now because finally the offensive line was here. Brian Flores had turned around this defense. I had never been more excited about where this team could go in the playoffs than I was right now today, where I was Sunday morning when I woke up because of how well the totality of this Vikings team was playing. It was all coming together, and it makes the sting, much more palpable.
Okay, the Birch, last one.
Football feast.
Buffalo Wild Wings Friday football feast at Buffalo Wild Wings Elk River this Friday. So Addison and Hawkinson are must starts every week in fantasy football, I believe. And now they hook Falcons defense down Grady Jarrett, one of their better pass rushers, kills the Vikings too when he plays them. So now with the Jaron Hall trick, what do you do fantasy wise for Guillotine Leagues, guillotineleagues.com with specifically Addison and Hawkinson?
I'll have a firmer answer for you on Friday in Elk River. But I believe right now, that the angle's going to be, I can see a lot of short over the middle stuff coming for TJ Hawkinson. Addison's been at his best on deep passes. Kirk's so good with the big arm on the deep stuff to Addison. I don't think Hall's got that in his arm, and at least we haven't seen it yet, and I need to see it first. So I think Addison's going to be out. I think Hawkinson could be looking at double-digit targets in much the same way he has been to this point, and there may be very little drop-off here for Hawkinson.
I appreciate you, man. I'll see you Friday in Elk River, okay?
Thanks, Paul. Talk to you soon.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
Paul Charchi and Guillotine League, guillotineleagues.com.
Check your watch and tell me what time it is.
11:41.
Now peek your head out and tell me what the climate is.
It's clear and sunny, but it's cold as bleep. And this is 9 to noon, where we have Monday Night Football tickets to be given away via the Tractor Talkback Series. It's the Vikings and the Bears Monday Night Football. That takes place around the corner.
To stay connected to the Fan.
Dear Kirk, I was skeptical when we first signed you, but watching you play the last couple of years, you have won my heart. You are a true professional, and the fact that you want to be a Viking for life is all I needed to hear. I say to management, sign Kirk. Don't let it end the way it did, and let's win a championship, whether he is the backup or the starter. I want to see him in Minneapolis forever.
Whew. Emotional. Courtesy of the free talkback feature on the free iHeart app. You hit that microphone, you give us up to your best 30 seconds. A lot of Kirk Cousins related talkbacks and some tractor talkbacks. Contest on the line each day this week. Final segment, by the way, is brought to you by Casey's. Casey's here for good. And a couple of things going on at Casey's right now. You can buy a large pizza, get half off a second with the code BOGO. So that's at Casey's. Or you can do what I did for my kids. My 8-year-old daughters love it. For $13.99, you can grab a jack-o'-lantern pizza. So mine feasted on it. Cool. It's Halloween. Check it out. It's good for the kids. Or maybe you're a 38-year-old man-child like me, and you just get the jack-o'-lantern pizza and just tell somebody it's for your kids that you may or may not even have. Tractor Talkbacks are tickets on the line. Monday Night Football, Monday night after Thanksgiving weekend. Vikings hosting the Bears. From the farm to the field, checking in. Now, I know some of you endured a lot of snow, and weather kept you out of the tractor. Maybe you're feeding the cows. But I have a few Tractor Talkbacks to end 9 to noon today, including a winner who will get a free pair of tickets to Vikings and Bears Monday night, November 27th. Let's start here.
What's up, Nordo and PA? This is Paul in North Dakota. Just wanted to call in, let you guys know that you're the best. There's no one better. And we were almost done with corn the other day. We had 30 acres left, and we got 8 to 10 inches of snow that left us moderately uncomfortable. And farming, just like being a Vikings fan, they're pretty similar. You got to have faith for both. You get knocked down, but you got to pop up. Vikes going to go on this run here. We got 5 more wins for this 8 in a row. Skull Vikes. Love you guys. You're the best.
Love you. Got to have faith, no doubt about that. Or maybe just like a backup hobby. We'll see. To the Talkbacks, Tractor Talkbacks, Vikings tickets on the line.
Hey, PA Nordo, Tractor Talkback here. Trying to combine corn in cold and snow, and sometimes in life you have to power through the uncontrollables.
True.
Speaking as a former backup quarterback, we believe in Jaron Hall, Nick Mullins. Sometimes you only get one shot, and it's time for them to show the world what they got. School.
You only get one shot. I think Eminem said that. The great philosopher Eminem, Marshall Mathers said that. Another Tractor Talkback. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for all the talkbacks and taking advantage of the chance to win some Vikings tickets. Couple more for you here.
Hey, PA. Hey, Nordo. Sitting out here on the farm is Andrew from Clontarf. Been doing a little combining. Been in the grain cart. Been trucking. Been running the dryer. Got all that stuff done. All the combine is done. Now we're trying to get some tillage done. And, boy, that's all I've been wanting to do this year is just sit in a tractor and plow. Oh, yeah! School Vikes.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you. Power Trip, by the way, weekdays 5:30 to 9. They would appreciate that as well. The winner of Vikings tickets, Vikings and Bears, Monday, November 27th at U.S. Bank Stadium. From the farm to the field, from your tractor to U.S. Bank Stadium. Here's Riley.
Hey, guys. This is Riley from Worthington. Taking out some corn as fast as we can here on a cold day in southwest Minnesota. Hoping our big machines don't tear their metaphorical Achilles.
Ooh.
I was a Kirk doubter, too. A lot of Kirk talk. But I think all of us Viking rubes are going to learn how much we took old Kirk O'Chains for granted. Thanks for taking my talk back.
And that's Riley. He's headed to Vikings and Bears Monday night, November 27th, courtesy from Farm to the Field, some tractor talkbacks. And we're doing that each and every day this week. And 9 to noon, on site, on scene at Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center tomorrow in Eagan. Will be roughly 21 hours removed from this moment and about 18 hours removed from the finality of the NFL trade deadline. As of now, no moves have been made. Bears grabbing some pass rush help. You have Leonard Williams to the Seahawks yesterday, those sorts of things happening. But on the Vikings front, no news at this particular moment. A few hours left to go. That's it for me, and Go for Football Weekly, right around the corner. It's PJ Fleck, fresh off the win to Sparty, moving forward, trying to capture the Big Ten West for a chance to face Michigan and Indy. But Go for Football Weekly, where you're home for Go for Sports, including Go for Football. They're at the Tipsy Steer around the corner. Thank you so much. Ben Gessling, Rich Gannon on the front end, some KOC cuts. Thank you, Charch. Welfare check. Glad he's still alive. He lost a family member on Sunday. We leave you listening to The Fan. Have a great afternoon and an awesome Halloween.